Hello, welcome to Sven Tarot. I'm Sven, back again with another pick a card. So today we are talking about the past, and so we're gonna get into what would have happened if you had decided to stay. So this is gonna be in regards to whether it's a relationship, career, a hometown, friendship. It really depends on what spirit wants to address for you. So this is for the people who are constantly wondering, what if I stayed, or what if I didn't move, what if I was still the same person, what if I was just basically, you know, shoulda coulda woulda type of vibes. And this is not to restrict you, this is not to kind of chain you down to the past. If anything, this is kind of to liberate you, so that um all these what if thoughts can just kind of go away now that you have a better clarity and understanding. So I want to put a disclaimer out there that this is going to be triggering for those who are sensitive to situations from the past, but also if you know that you're the type of person who easily gets attached to situations, I would rather you not watch this, because I don't want you, caught up in the past. Whether the results of this reading is good or not, I don't want you, because this is for the purpose of just like easing your mind. And so if you know that you have issues with letting go, I would suggest you don't watch this reading. But yeah, I hope that you do enjoy it, and thank you to everyone who's been watching, subscribing, and liking my videos. I really appreciate all of you. Yeah, but without wasting time, let us get into this reading. I will meet you at your pile. Hi there, pal one. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Chariot card, so let us get into it. Divine Spirit guides, in regards to the matter you want to address on pal one's mind or their subconscious, what would have happened if they had stayed? What would have happened if pal one stayed? Ooh. We got the Eight of Swords at the top of the deck. So this could have been all right. Pal one, we have the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Lovers or the Love card, and the Knight of Wands. It's a lot of mental energy, so I feel like whatever it was, it could have been like, I'm not diagnosing you, take it as it resonates, but it could have been like a situation that had to do with your mental health. Maybe you were struggling with your mental health, and let me just lay these out. So it could have been a situation that had to do with your mental health, and since I feel like it had to do with something from the past, so the situation that you left had to do with something from the past, and it had affected your mental health, probably experiences that weren't as great, maybe a little bit of like a childhood situation. For some of you, it could have also been matters of the heart, and it doesn't have to be romantic. You could have had issues with just opening up and trusting people. But I feel like whatever situation that you chose to walk away from had caused a lot of sleepless nights, had caused a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, and it brought out a lot of fear within you. It was something that was hindering you from living your best life. I'm getting an image of someone who was just like constantly in bed. They had a hard time getting out of bed. They had a hard time even feeding themselves, bathing, clothing themselves. And even if they seemed like they were coping, and maybe you had to go to work because you had to pay the bills, or you had to go to school because you had to keep your head up, there was still just like a part of you that felt like you were dying. And I feel like crying, I feel like for some of you, if there were people that noticed, you didn't feel as if they understood. But I'm getting that maybe for some of you there were people who either were not taking note of your situation, or they did notice but they kind of left you, because I'm getting an I'm hearing left me feeling empty. So either it was in regards to a person or people in your life, maybe you had felt abandoned by them, or you were feeling abandoned in general. And it doesn't have to be that people were literally just like ignoring you, abandoning you, and neglecting you. It could have been that the state of mind that you were in, your mental health was so bad that you couldn't see the positive in things. Even when people were trying to help, you probably thought that they had an agenda. Um, I'm just getting someone who's just like shutting the world out, someone who wasn't feeling like they had to put themselves out there. What was the point? You know? What is the point of these friendships? What is the point of these relationships? Because I'm still stuck on the past. Um, Maybe you had trust issues, or maybe you may still be battling these things right now, but I feel like you're in a better position now. But in the past, what's being addressed is the situation that may have caused you to keep people at a distance. And I feel like it had more to do with yourself, and maybe you felt, maybe there was no love, you know? Maybe you didn't look at yourself the same way. Maybe you didn't like the way your body looked. You didn't like the way your hair looked. You didn't like the way your skin looked. I feel like it was just like breakdown of your mental health. You were just like in a very tough spot, and it had to do with just like everything that has happened to you before that point. So you could have been going through a lot with people. Maybe it was even a breakup, or just like constantly meeting people who would betray you, or um, I feel like I'm hearing a song by Bryson Tiller. So maybe it was also sleepless nights over relationships that weren't working out, and it doesn't have to be romantic. Obviously, I want to try and keep this general, but I feel like whatever it was, it had to do with people, and feeling like you couldn't trust people, you couldn't connect with people well, and feeling that it was better to just shut the world off. And it kind of messed with your mind a little bit, because when you were pushing people away, you were also kind of neglecting yourself in a way. Maybe even neglecting your inner child, not allowing people in your space, not wanting to express yourself, not feeling worthy of expressing yourself, just being in your head and fearful of trying things, of putting yourself out there, of connecting. It could also be just like fears about my potential, am I worthy of even being noticed? And I feel like it's something that it may have hurt you a lot, I'm getting. But I think that you finally realize that it wasn't a place that you. I feel like the mental health issue, the depressive state that you may have been, the stress, the anxiety, it also, when you kind of isolated yourself and shut the world out, there was a point where you started to realize that maybe you were looking at yourself in the mirror and you didn't like what you saw, because you started to see how bad things have gotten, or I feel like something happened that made you realize that being in this state was no longer serving you, and you had to kind of get up. And I feel like you did this on your own. And if you had help, I feel like maybe Spirit is emphasizing that the decision you made, that was the strength, that was you doing things on your own, that was your own choice to get yourself back up. And so you could have started to work on yourself again. You know, you yeah, you could have started working on yourself again. You could have started trying, taking these little baby steps, whether it was just like taking a walk, or meditating, or reading a book. Like, I don't know, a book by, I don't know, I'm getting Abraham, Law of Attraction, and, those type of books. Or, I'm also getting Paul Coelho. Is that how you pronounce his name? So maybe you started getting into a lot of like enlightening books, so motivational talks and whatnot. And even if it's not your vibe, maybe you started listening to music that was more positive. I'm just getting an image of somebody working out, someone who is dragging themselves out of the bed to take a shower, someone who's meditating. And I feel like it also had to do with your throat chakra. Maybe a lot of this depression was caused by you never really expressing things to people, and you were just left with all that baggage of being unheard and unexpressive. So you probably started just like doing things that allowed you to express yourself even more. So maybe you started journaling, you started creating in some way, and I feel like it kind of helped open up your throat chakra and help you kind of move into a space where you were finally taking decision and taking action into your life, because it has led you to a place where you're now more confident with yourself, even if you have those days, because we all have those moments. But I feel like you're more confident and you can even have, a brighter perspective on the future and how you want to go about it. And I'm getting an image of, you know you're being applauded for this, like you're being applauded. I don't know what was his name, Shia LaBeouf, right? And there's this meme where he's like getting up and he's clapping his hand. That's what I'm getting an image of. It's like, you did good, you chose yourself and now you're in a better place, and the future looks brighter because of the decisions you keep making to choose yourself. But if you're wondering what would have happened if you stayed, it would have been the same cycle of indecision and not being able to. You would have probably got into relationships that really undermined your strength, undermined your potential. um I feel like if you decided to stay in that low vibe, or not to kind of diss you in any way, but it wasn't a positive vibe to be in. And if you maintain that depressive state or that anxious ridden state, and gave into the fear, you would have probably continued the cycle of attracting relationships and connections with people. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic, that you couldn't trust. Whether it was job opportunities or friendships, it would have even caused a lot of arguments and a lot of doubt in people. I feel like doubt in humanity. And for some of you, you would have even probably started entertaining, um maybe this also happened, but it would have been a continued cycle of entertaining people who are wasting your time. And probably, I don't know why I'm getting this, but maybe someone was even thinking, well, F love, I'm gonna do whatever I want, I'm gonna sleep around, I'm gonna hop from one bed to the next. I don't really care about love, I'm just gonna use people as I want to. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but it would have just been a spiral, spiraling down into some of you would have even become players, or maybe you were players and you woke up from this, um but basically it was just like you were probably beginning, not beginning, but it would, if you hadn't chosen to wake up and stand strong, you would have become just the opposite of what you are right now. um you would have been someone who just like used people because you didn't trust them. um Use people to your disposal. I'm also getting an image of American Psycho Christian Bale. So yeah, you would have just been really just, yeah, you would have turned. You know how people who are mean, people who are harsh, are usually people who are just like dealing with a lot, but they don't know how to confront it. So you would have been that person who goes around hurting people, stringing people along. Maybe if it's romantic relationships, not really being upfront about what you wanted, because you didn't know what you want. You wouldn't have known what you want. But now you're in a better place where you have a level head. You see things clearly. Um, so that is really great. I'm very happy for you, Pawan. I'm very, very happy for you and proud of you. And like the universe is even saying that, it's just like clapping hands for you. Like, I'm hearing bow down bitches from Beyonce's song. So you're in your power right now. And I feel like the advice that is coming on is to keep maintaining the strength. And this is not toxic positivity. This is, if you're having a bad day, chill out. But what is coming through is keep moving, keep being this person who's just like a go-getter, keep just like keep going after your goals, and don't be afraid, and don't let anyone kind of hinder you. um don't ever let anyone take you back to the place where you were a doormat, where you were not listened to. Like, affirm whatever it is that you want and have people believe it. And if they don't be afraid to cut them off, especially if it's relationships. Like, if somebody's not working for you, you can love them from a distance, but they don't have to be in your energy. Don't be afraid to create that project. Don't be afraid to start that project. Don't be afraid to reach out to those people who can help you start that business. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there and just get the life that you want. because you've come so far and there's still so much greatness waiting for you, Part 1. So I really enjoyed this reading and I hope that you did. Thank you for watching. Till I see you in a different one. Namaste. Hello, Part 2. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Two of Swords, and let us get into it. Thank you. I hope that you're all doing well and good. Alright, so Divine Spirit, guys, what would have happened if Part 2 stayed in regards to the situation on their mind or in their subconscious? What would have happened? And then we got the 10 of Wands at the top of the deck. So let me just like lay everything out for you. Oh, we got the Tower, Tower. The 8 of Wands in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune. The 9 of Pentacles. And Chariot. So, got the Tower. 8 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune. The 9 of Pentacles. And the Chariot. Alright. So I feel like what is being addressed is some kind of change that happened in your life unexpectedly. Maybe you had to make a decision real quickly about it, and you probably, okay, this is like what would have happened if you had stayed, or what would have happened if you know, but I feel like this had to do with some kind of change that happened in your life unexpectedly, and it brought a shakeup. Maybe it was a realizations of certain things about your environment, whether it was the people or your job. Maybe just realizing that something wasn't working for you the way you wanted it to work for you, or the way it was meant to work for you, basically for your own positive for your own good, basically, is what I'm getting. Is that you had a realization either of the people around you not being the best, or the job or your environment, or just something about your environment. It happened out of the blue and you had realizations of, wait, this is not what I want, this is not what is meant for me. This is, maybe even if it was like you went to varsity to study for medicine and then you realized you wanted to be a lawyer, or maybe you don't want law, you want more of like a creative job. And even if it's not a job, maybe you realize that the person you were dating is not who you want for you, or who you thought they were. I feel like it was something that basically challenged your it challenged your current circumstances and made you realize what you actually desired. So for instance, if I had to be in a relationship with someone, and I'm comfortable in this relationship, everything is great, and then out of the blue something happened between us. It doesn't have to be too drastic, but then I realized that maybe this person handled the situation in a way that made me realize this is not someone that I want to be with. Maybe we were at a restaurant and he yelled at the waiter, or she lashes out for whatever reason. Maybe they're bad at communicating, and then that kind of makes you realize this is not the relationship that I want. This is not the person for me. Or even at a job, being exploited, or realizing that the people around you are being exploited, and then feeling like, okay, this is not the route that I wanted for me. Or realizing that people had some kind of agenda. I feel like whatever it is, it challenged you to make a decision from what you were used to get into the path where get into a path where you were living a life that is what is meant for you, what you truly desire. And I feel like the decision that you made was received with like a little bit of hesitance. I don't know. I don't feel like any of you even made a decision. Maybe some of you stayed in the situation for a little longer than you should have. Or maybe you made a decision that wasn't for your benefit, I'm getting. Maybe for some of you, you still haven't made the decision. And that's why we're here. Or Because we have the Two of Swords. I'm really drawn to the Two of Swords, yeah. And the Eight of Wands is in reversed. So I feel like whatever decision that you made, or whatever indecision rather, maybe you had a hard time making a decision on what direction to move into, and it may have created some kind of missed opportunity, and you may have lost out on something, missed out on something because of this doubt and this, lack of decision making. And so I feel like it's not bad. All right, it's not bad. There's still, I feel like you're still in a place where the universe is supporting you. And basically what I'm trying to say, if you are still in this situation, which I feel for some of you are, where you're still stuck in the old, still stuck in a situation that isn't serving you, or you're still stuck in having to make a decision, the universe is still in your favor. And basically what is coming through is your your whatever is for your highest good, whatever it is that you're truly passionate about, whatever it is that you truly desire and want, that is not based on the people around you and your environment. So not making a decision because your mom said so or because your partner said so. Whatever it is that you truly want, the universe is on your side. And it's still on your side. Like, you're very lucky. You're very lucky. So if you're feeling down and out right now, you're being kind of just like, this is kind of like a, I don't know, what do you call it? Like, the universe is your cheerleader. I'm getting an image of, like, cheerleaders. So like the universe is cheering you on to say that you still have a chance, because had you had made a decision, this is not kind of to, I'm not trying to, make you feel some type of way or anything. Again, please don't stay stuck in the past. You still have a chance. From what I'm seeing, you still have a chance to make things better for yourself. But had you made a decision back then as quick as you could, or without hesitance, without fear, and not missing this opportunity, it would have led to so much abundance for you, so much growth, especially if it has to do with you choosing yourself, choosing a path that is for you, choosing to be around people that are for you, and not just like being afraid or hesitant to make a decision, whether it's out of fear of making the wrong one. So what is coming through is, yes, in the past you could have been in a better place right now. And I'm just saying this not to say that you're not in a good place, because like I said, the universe is still cheering you on. We have the Wheel of Fortune in the Chariot, yeah? So you still have a chance to, and the Wheel of Fortune is upright, you still have a chance to make things better for yourself. But again, it's all about how you go about this. All right, yes, you could have had this abundance a long time ago, but you still have a chance to have it again, and even probably have a lot more abundance for yourself. So what is coming through is that you should get on with it. Whatever it is that you've been holding back on, you should get on with it. Ride that horse into the sunset. Ride that horse into your sunset, whatever your sunset is. Whether the sunset is your dream job, your dream partner, your dream home environment. Maybe some of you want to live in a different neighborhood. Maybe some of you want to start your own job, you want to start your own projects. You want to, I don't know, whatever it is. I feel like there's a bit of hesitancy from you, but the universe is here to let you know that you still have a chance and you're still supported. So let's not worry about the past and what could have been, because you could have been in a really great place, my love, but now you get to be in a better place as well, because I'm hoping that this reading inspires you to actually take action. All right, so yeah, this was your reading, part 2. I hope that it resonated, and if it did, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I wish you best on your journey, and thank you for watching. I'll see you in a different one. Namaste. Hi there, Pal 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose the 7 of Cups. I hope that you're all doing well and good. Thank you for joining me. Let us get into your reading. The Divine Spirit Guides, had Pal 1 chosen to stay in whatever scenario or situation that is on their mind or in the subconscious, what would have happened? What would have happened, Divine Spirit Guides? Ooh. Yeah. What would have happened? Ooh, okay. Ooh, you have the most cards. Okay. Oh, let me keep these together so that I don't forget. Alright. We have the Six of Pentacles at the top of the deck. Alright, pile 3, you have the most cards. I don't know how. Okay, I'm just gonna figure out how to lay everything out because I was hoping for one card each, but alright. Let me just, okay, so you got the, let me lay everything out for you. Alright, okay. You got the Star card. The Moon card and the Two of Cups. The Three of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune or the Fortune's Wheel, and the Chariot. And then you got the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. A lot of water energy. Alright, let me just like lay these down for you, ladies. I don't know if you guys can see it all in the video, but I'm just trying to, you can just like fast forward to the part where I start talking while I figure this out. Can you guys see that? And then I'll just put the King of Cups right here. All right, so pile 3. All right. I feel like your decision had to do with some kind of, all right, the situation that is coming up, right? It had to do with some kind of expansion that had to happen in regards to yourself. It could have been some kind of awakening. I'm hearing self-love is the best love. So it doesn't have to be for all of you that it was an awakening. It could have just been some kind of spiritual growth that you were going through in regards to yourself. I feel like this is more geared to you and your emotions as well, because there's a lot of water here. And so I feel like the situation that if you're wondering about or is on your subconscious that, you know, spirit is bringing up. I'm sorry if the lighting looks bad. I apologize. I'm running out of, like, my battery is dying, but I feel like it had to do with your growth, your spiritual growth, or your emotional growth, or your self-love, or your perception of yourself. So it could have been like, I'm getting an image of like a breakdown of the old you so that you can build up this new self. I don't know what those, I'm getting an image of a sculpture. You know those sculptures of, like, I don't know what it's called, so I can see it in my mind, but it could have just been like a breakdown of the old you so that something new could be birthed. I'm also getting an image of like an egg hatching. So I feel like you were going through some kind of enlightenment. I don't want to say enlightenment, but some kind of realization of your better self, your highest purpose. It could have been also in regards to the growth that the growth that you're trying to move into or should be moving into in regards to your purpose, your existence, and why you're here. So I feel like it had to, the situation that is being addressed had to do with you. And I feel like you had decided to do some kind of like shadow work in regards. I feel like it has to do with self-love because I keep hearing the song. So self-love, it doesn't just have to be in regards to my body. It doesn't have to be in regards to, you know, it could just also be like, who are the people that are around me that aren't serving me that I need to cut off? Or it could be like inner child work, you know, shadow work. It could be starting to put myself first and going after my goals without holding back. So whatever self-love means to you, I feel like that was a decision that you had made, and it led to this abundance and this growth. It also could have led to attracting a lot of people who are in the same space as you mentally and even energetically. So people who are in alignment with you, people who are here to see you grow. And if you haven't had this experience happen yet, I'm seeing that a lot of people who are in alignment with you could be coming into a lot of partnerships, a lot of creation, a lot of um meeting. I'm even hearing soul tribe. So you could be attracting your soul tribe, and I'm saying you could. So this could be something that is on its way. So maybe you've been healing, you've been working on yourself, you've been taking these little initiatives that allow you to connect better to self, better to spirit, better to your higher self. It could have been also like, not all of you, but it could have been getting into tarot, getting into divination. If you're witches, I'm also getting that. I'm getting it, an image of the enchantress for whatever reason. Um, so it could have been you also even working on your body, working on, um, just like working on yourself, and for the purpose of attracting better. So it was expansion so that you can create better for yourself that has happened. So you had some kind of realization that, whoa, listen, how I've been doing things, it hasn't been working for me, so now I'm going to start doing it differently. So you could have been doing that shadow work, um diving deep into the matters of the heart, the pain, what you've been through. And I feel like you've evolved since then in regards to emotions. I feel like emotions, and how you express yourself, and it doesn't have to be vocally. It could also be like creatively. Maybe some of you got into painting, got into any other form of art, or you started expressing yourself even through like talking. Maybe you have like a YouTube channel, or maybe you are more comfortable now speaking your truth. But I feel like whatever it had to do with you leveling up and living your highest version of yourself. So it's like I wasn't only connecting with the highest version of myself, I was now living it. I'm now living it. So you may find that you're very lucky, and I feel like the universe brings a lot of people in your life to help you out with that. So if it's opportunities and like whether it's job or just like wanting to hang out with people, maybe like you're having a boring day and you're just thinking to yourself, well, I wish I had someone to hang out with, and then randomly you have someone come and just like try to ask you out to hang out with you. Or maybe just in general, wherever you go, people are drawn to you and they're attracted to you. It is this beautiful energy that you're radiating because you're living and you are manifesting from your highest self, from the highest version of yourself. So I feel like you're now a person who's not afraid to get what they want. And I don't know why, but I'm getting that some of you could be witches, because I'm getting someone who's working with the moon, working with the sun, working with, the elements to create this for themselves, working with spirit. And you don't have to be a witch. I'm just saying that. You could also just be working with your higher self to create this abundance. And it's bringing a lot of love in. It's bringing a lot of self-love. It's bringing a lot of love from other people. People are just admiring you. People are just like adoring you. Like, oh my gosh, she's lucky, she's blessed. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. People want to be around you because they see this abundance that you exude. Is that the word? This it's just like pheromone. People can smell this greatness that you have. And so this is what it has led to, because it's a decision that you made. Had you not made this decision to step into the highest version of yourself, I'm also getting that some of you could have switched up your diets. Maybe you don't eat meat anymore, or even if you do, you kind of just like don't eat that much of it, or you started listening to your body a little bit more. If your body doesn't want to eat a certain product, you don't do that. If your body's not comfortable with a certain perfume, I feel like you're more in tune with your body and self. And I'm getting yoga now, Pilates. So I feel like it has to do with you working on yourself, and you've been doing this, you know? And I feel like had you not decided to step into this, you would have been in where you were actually before you had this realization. So it could have been a place where you were not so mature with your emotions, not so immature. I'm even getting like wounded. I feel like you've grown emotionally and you've become a better person, and you're more understanding. And not to say you're perfect, but you're more understanding of things and situations around you. And I feel like had you not decided to step into this highest version of self, you could have been just the confused little person that you were, who had issues maybe expressing themselves, who had fears around expression, who had a hard time. But you know what? Let me tell you something. Even if this is something that would have happened maybe in a different timeline, I feel like eventually you would have stepped into this. I feel like it was just a part of, it would have been just like a part of it's who you are. Naturally, you would have stepped into your power. I'm not getting that. Um, maybe you would have been resistant to it a little bit, but eventually you would have stepped into your power. And maybe for some of you, it took some time before you got it right, but you're here now and you're this person who's just like, I love myself. I don't know why I keep hugging me and touching my body. Like, maybe it's body appreciation, you know. I'm now comfortable walking around a certain way. Maybe if you have a bigger body, you had issues wearing crop tops or tight clothes, but now it's just like I don't care. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Eddie Rose. She's a tarot reader. She's so freaking comfortable with her body and she's so beautiful and it makes her magnetic. So it's that vibe I'm getting, that you just learned to love yourself, your body, who you are, and you're not afraid. I'm also getting an image of Heather or activation vibration, like just comfortable connecting with the moon, getting all naked and dancing under the stars, and just like being one with self and Mother Nature. And I feel like, had you not done that, you would have been in a place where you just like a little bit immature, you would have been the inner child, you would have been that lonely girl or boy, non-binary, who didn't have love and so didn't know how to give love, didn't know how to receive love. But this journey allowed you, or just like taught you how to receive love, and maybe some of you may still be learning, and it also taught you how to give love, but mostly to yourself. In you know, and by giving love to yourself, you could be like just attracting people, and like you may have a lot of people just wanting to ask you out, wanting to hang out with you and stuff. um so I feel like, yeah, before we end this, what is also coming through for you guys is that just like I feel like keep connecting with your emotions, keep being someone who checks in on themselves. um don't be consistent with your journaling, you know. I mean, be consistent with your journaling, sorry. Be consistent with your journaling. Be consistent with checking in on your inner child. Be consistent with checking in on your emotions. If something makes you scared, fearful, happy, why are you feeling this, you know? Keep being this person who, I feel like you've mastered your emotions. You don't let things and people get the best of you. What's coming through is maintain that. And also be loving of others and understanding, which is something that I feel like you already do. Be loving of others and understanding of them. Share that compassion. Extend that compassion that you have for yourself with others. Obviously, don't overdo it, and don't ever do it with people who just like take advantage of you. But I feel like whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Pow 3. So this was your reading. I hope that it resonated. I'll see you in a different one. Namaste. Hi there, Powerful. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Ace of Pentacles. I hope that you're all doing well and good. So yeah, let's get into your reading without wasting time. Divine Spirit, guys, in regards to Pile 4's situation on their mind or in their subconscious, or what needs to be addressed, what would have happened if they stayed? Sorry, guys. Alright. What would have happened if Pile 4 stayed? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Alright, let me just take we got the King of Cups. Let me just take a moment to connect to your energy real quickly. Alright. So for you, we got the 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Swords, the 5 of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the 9 of Swords. So I'm just gonna lay everything out for you. Oh, come on. All right, pile 4. I feel like this is in regards to something you were trying to build for yourself. Um, it could be something that's not so far in the past. It could be something recent, even current for some of you. But I feel like it was something that you were trying to build, whether this was a relationship or work or career. But I feel like you were starting and you were trying to build something from the ground up. Can you guys? Oh, okay, it's fine, it's fine. You were trying to build something from the ground up for yourself. Um, and I feel like you felt like you had all the resources to do this, but I think you gave up real quickly. I don't know if you gave up because you didn't really have faith in yourself, or you had doubt that it would work out, or maybe you didn't have the support that you felt that you needed. Um, or maybe you were feeling like you didn't see things clearly. But whatever it is that you were trying to build, you kind of let that go. I feel like you gave up real quickly, and it has led to this conflicting mindset within you where you're not sure if you should tread forward or go back and try again. So it could have been school, for instance, and trying to get an education and whatnot, but then feeling like school's not working out for me, or maybe not being patient enough, or maybe feeling like things were a little hard and then giving up, maybe because you didn't think that you had support. Or it could have been like starting a business but not feeling like you had the right resources or the right connections. Even if it was a relationship, feeling like, I don't know, there was something missing. And it could also just be all in your head. It could have been your own fears and your own doubts that was stopping you, and you decided to cut it. This is not going to work for me. For some of you, I'm not getting that you cut this off completely. It could have been that you were just taking a break from it because you needed a rest to figure things out. But I feel like it led to a place where you may be feeling conflicted if this is still something that is recent, or if it's something from the past. It left you conflicted. It left you feeling like, I don't know if things are going to work out for me. Could have even caused arguments, because if there were other people involved, maybe business partners or family, it could have caused a lot of arguments, led to a lot of disappointments, a lot of, just like sleepless nights as well. Just feeling like you were not living the life that you wanted, and it could have just like, I'm getting a lot of inner turmoil. I'm getting an image of like a boiling kettle of water, and it's just like all the bubbling heat. So there was probably a lot of anger as well, a lot of disappointment in self. Like, did I really just give up on this, or things are not working out for me? But I feel like it was all just like in the mental. It was all in your head, because we have three sword cards here. And I feel like it was all in your head. You may have had the support that you wanted. Maybe some of you were just like afraid, and so you used excuses to get you out of the situation. Oh, I don't have the resources. Um, oh, no one is supporting me. Oh, it's not gonna work out. So you may have come up with some kind of excuse for some of you, but for others of you, I'm getting that it was something that had to do with your mental health and maybe doubting yourself. Um, I feel like, had you decided to stay and try, you would have like probably, if you pulled through, I feel like it would have been a situation of, I'm still learning. I'm hearing I'm still learning to find myself or to love myself. Is that a song by Halsey, I think? But if you had stayed in the situation, I think it would have been what it had to be. Especially if it was starting a new project, you would have still had to learn. Um, but I feel like people would have come in at the right time to help you out if you felt like you didn't have the support. But the situation would have needed you to put in more effort, which is something that I don't feel like you were ready for, and maybe this is why you quit. Um, it would have required you to put more effort into learning, into studying, into connecting to the right people, into doing the research, into even believing in yourself. Um, so maybe this is something that you didn't feel you were ready for, and this is why you took a break for some of you, and for others of you, it could have been just like why you cut it off completely. But the advice that is coming through is, um, when you are going through life and you're trying to build something for yourself, and whether this is education, career, job, relationships, it requires effort. And if you feel that you're not ready for that, whether you didn't feel ready back then or still you don't feel ready right now, you need to address this situation as to why you're not ready. It's time for you to check in on your mental health. It's time for you to look in onto those fears and try to overcome them as best as you can. Because if you don't, this is something that is going to follow you. Unfortunately, you meant the brain is like your biggest, one of the biggest enemies you may have. And I'm not saying this to kind of create some kind of negative concept or perspective of it, but what I'm trying to say, if you allow your brain, um and your mental state to have power over you, it will be your biggest rival. It will be. And I feel like that's what's going on here. Your mindset, you might need a change of perspective. You might need a change of mindset in regards to whatever it is that you're trying to build for yourself. I feel like it has to do with your future and where you want to see yourself. And maybe there's a bit of hesitation because you're not sure, and you might want to take some time out. And maybe this is why some of you kind of put a stop to it. It's like, I want to figure things out before I carry on, you know. But I feel like what needs to come through is that no matter what it is, whatever phase in your life, everything requires effort. And for effort to be there, it requires strength, whether that's emotional strength, mental strength, physical strength. And so you need to check in on yourself, especially your mental health, and work on that, work over your fears, try to figure out why you have these fears, try to figure out why you have a tendency for some of you to make up excuses, to sabotage situations for yourself. That's what's coming through, because I feel like you wouldn't have been in a bad place at all. You would have been in a place where you were building up to that success if you had chosen to stay and not give up so easily. But now you're in a place where you're still feeling conflicted, still feeling unsure about the future. And so what is coming through is you need to address these uncertainties and these fears that you have. Powerful. So I wish you best on your journey. Thank you for watching. Till I see you in a different reading. Namaste.